Hello, I'm Ruth Gowdy, the flower writer, and I'm here to talk about the daffodil, its folklore, the stories behind it and what it means to us today. Whenever I think of daffodils, I think of the bright, often cold March days and the daffodils heralding the spring with their nodding heads in the wind. They are often flowering in March, and we used to pick them and take them to church to be given to the ladies at the service. They're also associated with Easter because often they're still flowering then, and that's why they're called the Lent lily. And they're certainly here heralding spring and new life and new beginnings. For me, it's all about strength in numbers when you see them all together and they're so bright and cheerful. How many of us remember that wonderful poem by Wordsworth where he's walking along and feeling lonely and then his mood is transformed by the daffodils? I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. With his poem, he immediately evokes that sense of sunshine and colour. And the daffodil is part of the amaryllis family. And amarisso means to sparkle and twinkle, and certainly I believe that's what they do. The daffodil's Latin name is Narcissus, and there's a story in Greek mythology about a vain youth who was called Narcissus, and he rejected the love of the nymph Echo. He was punished, and the revenge was that he fell in love with his own reflection in a pool of water. And so obsessed was he with his reflection that he couldn't even leave to have food or drink, and he pined away and died. And in that place where he died, a daffodil sprang up. The Narcissus bulb has many properties, but it is especially famous for numbing the central nervous system, and Narcissus in Greek does mean to numb. In fact, in olden days, if soldiers suffered really serious wounds, they would have carried a daffodil bulb so that they could end their time on earth. On a brighter note, the bulbs are now being researched for use in treatments for Alzheimer's. Despite those sad stories and darker side, for me the daffodil really is about the joy and positivity and the spring. And it's a flower that I think that I share with people to cheer them up. It certainly cheers me up. The daffodil really is a positive, bright, sunny flower. It lifts me out of the winter doldrums, and it's certainly a flower to share with friends and a time to be cheerful together. It certainly had that same effect on Wordsworth, because even when he was back home and feeling sad, the thought of the flowers cheered him up. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. I hope the daffodils lift your spirits in the same way as they do mine.